Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to share with you my meal planning and prep schedule. Now this is not something that I've typically talked about. I have shared with you guys how I meal plan for our family and things like that, but I've never really talked about the actual process and what it looks like for me during the week, like throughout the week. What does my cooking and meal planning schedule actually look like? So today we're going to take a look at that. I'm also going to share with you guys a few tips along the way of how I meal plan on a budget and how we save money throughout the week with meal planning. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with where I typically start in my week with my meal plan, and that is on Thursday. Thursday is a big deal for us as far as groceries go because it's typically our payday, and so we can go to the bank and get cash for our grocery envelope, but then we can also go to the grocery store. And this is probably my biggest meal planning, grocery shopping, like food related rule in our house is that I grocery shop on Thursdays. I started grocery shopping on Thursdays after my husband and I got married, and I had always hated going to the grocery store during the weekends. They're always super crowded, super busy, people get frustrated, you can't find stuff, it's like, it's congested, it's the worst. And I also feel like it takes so much longer because of all of those factors. So when we got married, I started grocery shopping on Thursdays. It worked out better with my work schedule. It also worked out better because we just are so busy on the weekends that trying to squeeze in an hour, 2-hour trip to the grocery store just didn't make sense, right? I would rather sleep in and just relax for that extra couple of hours on the weekends than be at the grocery store. So I sacrifice the time after work to go to the grocery store, and that does require a little bit of planning and preparation before going to the actual store, which helps to keep us on budget. So on Thursdays, I do my grocery shopping, and this is my tip number one for you guys, is to go to the grocery store one time a week if that is your shopping schedule. If you are planning to buy groceries, only once a month or 2 times in the month or once a week, go to the grocery store only at those times, only that many amount of times in the month. So for me, I go to the grocery store every week. So whether there's 4 weeks in the month or 5 weeks, that's when I go. There's rare occasions when I can make our food last 2 weeks just because of like surplus in the freezer or something like that, but I typically do go to the grocery store on a weekly basis. And that helps us to make sure we're eating what we actually purchase, and it also helps because our cabinets, we don't have very much cabinet space. So I don't have much space to store food, therefore whatever I get needs a home, and if I'm low on space to store food, then that means I have to really buy meaningfully and purposefully my groceries. So after going to the grocery store, I come home and I typically make a dinner that's pretty easy to throw together, whether it's something like quesadillas or hot dogs or something that may be left over, or like frozen chicken nuggets or frozen corn dogs or something like that. Something that's easy, that doesn't require a lot of extra work because I've already spent an extra hour doing the grocery shopping and making sure I've gotten everything off of the list and carrying it all inside and then filming the haul. So I want to make sure that whatever we're eating and whatever I'm making for dinner is really quick and easy. So I just prepare an easy meal for us that night. I do typically like to maybe marinate something on other nights, but typically on Thursdays it's a pretty quick, fast throwdown kind of a meal. So that brings us on to Fridays. Now Fridays are usually date night around here, so my husband and I will typically go on a date at least a couple times a month. If we're not going on a date, then we generally like to order pizza and have kind of just a nice, relaxing end of the week dinner together. And of course, if we're not doing either of those things, then I do cook from something that I've planned from our grocery haul and meal planned for the week. So whatever that meal may be, it's usually typically easy again because by Friday, I'm just I'm whooped. I'm done. I'm ready for a break. So it's typically an easy meal again. So let's go on to Saturday. On Saturday, I generally find some time either in the morning or in the evenings to prep our foods for lunches for the coming week. Now what this means is that I typically prep our snacks and fruits and veggies during this time. I like to do this because it saves so much time in the morning, then I don't have to stuff things in baggies and be frantic and trying to figure out who's going to eat what for snacks that day. I just do it all at once, put it in a basket, and the basket sits on top of our fridge. Throughout the week, I just pull the basket down when I'm making lunches in the morning and pack and go, and it's so much easier, so much nicer. So a tip here is to buy things not necessarily in prepackaged portions. So what this means is if you're gonna give your kids Cheez-Its for the week for their snack, don't buy the individual little baggies of Cheez-Its. buy a large box of cheese, it's like the family size box, and just portion it out into small Ziploc bags or portion it out into little containers. So portion them out either into little Ziploc bags or those small like Tupperware containers to have them prepped for your kids throughout the week. Now I do this for everything from chips to cookies, trail mix, nuts, what else? Granola bars are a little bit different because I don't make my own granola bars. So we just order, so when I'm at the store, I just purchase a large box of granola bars, and then that usually lasts us a couple of weeks. But again, those are things that you can do really easily, and you save money because those prepackaged portions are actually costing you extra money. So watch your budget and just buy the large box and prep it yourself, and you'll save yourself some money. It takes a little bit of time, but it's totally worth it. So let's go on to Sunday. On Sunday, I like to prep a crock pot meal. So I'll usually prep it Saturday night to make sure everything's ready, good to go, so that when I wake up on Sunday, I don't have to do a lot of extra work, but I can pretty much just dump things into the crock pot, set it on a timer, and then it's good to go. So what we do with this meal is we typically have this for dinner on Sunday night. And then my husband and I will also have this usually for our lunches throughout the week. Occasionally on Sundays I'll make 2 different meals, and we'll again do that same kind of a thing. So I'll make one meal to have for dinner on Sunday, and then we'll have a separate meal that I use for our lunches. And this is really helpful because you can really make this super simple and super easy. I like to do crock pot chicken, like fajita chicken. I like to do chili in there. What else? I do a lot of other things, but things that are really simple to make, but make a lot in a portion, and something that's gonna last throughout the week for my husband and I, so that we can take that for lunch, and I don't have to like make an extra sandwich or 2 extra sandwiches or something in the mornings. Now on to Monday. Monday is a busy day for us. It's a long day for us. I do lead our worship team, so after work on Mondays, I don't come home. I just go straight to worship. So that's where I am on Monday nights, and typically we have leftovers. So from that Sunday crockpot meal, we just have a leftover on Monday night. So that holds us over, and it helps to have that meal already prepared because I don't have to think about it when I come in the evening, and the boys can feed themselves when I'm not here, and everything's good to go. So that makes it really, really simple. Now Tuesdays, I do like to actually cook dinner. These are one of our few family dinner nights that we actually have throughout the week. Typically Thursday is a family dinner night also, but again, it's like that quick, easy meal. So Tuesdays I like to cook, and I like to make something that is a little bit more involved depending on my energy level. But for the most part, whatever it is, we're eating together, sitting at the table, really an actual like family dinner time at that time. So that is one night where I will cook, but I also will make enough to last us until Wednesday night as well. So Wednesdays weekend we'll have leftovers. So we do have a lot of leftovers, as I'm sure you're probably able to tell by now, and that's totally fine. That works with us. My husband can literally eat the same thing for days on end. I am not the same way, so I like to have something a little bit different. But again, leftovers are a great way for you to cut costs because you're not making an extra, a new meal every single night, and especially if you're busy like we are, it helps to save time. So definitely don't neglect your leftovers. One thing I forgot to mention is that on Tuesdays, I typically make our meal plan for the next meal plan cycle, which is again on Thursday. So I will go through our pantry and our fridge and see what we have left over, what we need to purchase new, and I'll make a list as well as a meal plan. And I typically like to take advantage of whatever we have in our home already for groceries. So for instance, right now, I know that we have a couple of packs of buns in our freezer that are left over from the summer months when we were doing a lot of hot dogs and hamburgers. So when I go to the store this week, I'm planning to buy things like burger patties or chicken patties or something like that to use up those buns rather than having them just sit in the freezer. So guys, that is really it for how I meal plan and schedule out our meal planning and cooking throughout the week. I hope this video is helpful for you, and if it is, definitely let me know in a comment below. I would also love to know what your schedule looks like because everyone does things a little bit differently, and I find I can always learn from what you're doing, and hopefully you learn from what I'm doing also. So be sure to let me know what your schedule is in a comment below. And as a bonus, I'm always looking for new meal ideas because, like I said, I can get bored a little easily. So if you have a favorite either crock-pot recipe or simple weeknight recipe, definitely leave it in a comment also, and I will check it out. Thanks for watching, friends. I will talk to you soon. Have an amazing day.